was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access.
The opening portion of the transcript briefly references the founding of the Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, in the period following the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. The remark highlights how the aftermath of the attacks created a tense and uncertain environment for many Muslim Americans, who felt that public perception and treatment of their communities had begun to change significantly. According to the statement, the organization emerged partly in response to concerns that Muslim communities were losing access to opportunities and facing increased scrutiny or suspicion. By referencing the post-9/11 period, the speaker situates the broader discussion within the context of national security, civil liberties, and the social challenges experienced by minority communities during a time of heightened fear and political tension in the United States.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A.1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
Recognized.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon becoming a citizen, declaring, "I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen." Whereas on January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia.
In the next portion of the proceedings, a member of Congress formally seeks recognition from the Speaker of the House in order to introduce a matter of privilege. Parliamentary procedure requires that members obtain recognition before presenting certain motions or resolutions on the floor, ensuring that the process follows established rules governing debate and legislative actions. The member references a specific clause of House rules that allows them to give notice of their intent to raise a question regarding the privileges of the House. This procedural step signals that the issue being raised is considered serious and directly related to the integrity or functioning of the legislative body. By invoking this rule, the member indicates that the matter deserves formal consideration and potentially further debate among lawmakers.
Whereas Representative Omar continued, "For as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system." Whereas George Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism more than any appellation derived from local discriminations. Whereas these statements by Representative Omar clearly violate the oath she took as an elected member of Congress to defend and protect the United States Constitution. Whereas Representative Omar has exhibited the treasonous tendencies George Washington warned about, and her actions must be condemned by all members of Congress who adhere to the oath they took upon assuming office. And whereas by openly admitting her efforts to advance Somalia's interest using her position as a United States representative, Representative Omar has revealed herself to be a foreign agent acting on behalf of a foreign government.
In the next portion of the proceedings, a member of Congress formally seeks recognition from the Speaker of the House in order to introduce a matter of privilege. Parliamentary procedure requires that members obtain recognition before presenting certain motions or resolutions on the floor, ensuring that the process follows established rules governing debate and legislative actions. The member references a specific clause of House rules that allows them to give notice of their intent to raise a question regarding the privileges of the House. This procedural step signals that the issue being raised is considered serious and directly related to the integrity or functioning of the legislative body. By invoking this rule, the member indicates that the matter deserves formal consideration and potentially further debate among lawmakers.
Now therefore be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee of the Budget and the Committee on Education and the Workforce.
The resolution continues by referencing the oath of office taken by members of Congress when they assume their roles. This oath requires lawmakers to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and to faithfully discharge the duties of their office. The text also references the oath of citizenship that naturalized Americans take when they become citizens, emphasizing the renunciation of allegiance to foreign states or governments. The resolution then mentions remarks allegedly made by Representative Omar during a public event in Minneapolis, suggesting that those remarks raised questions about her statements regarding foreign policy and the interests of another nation. By including these references, the resolution attempts to frame the issue within the broader context of loyalty, constitutional duty, and the responsibilities associated with public office. The final portion of the resolution outlines the proposed actions that would follow if the House were to adopt it. Specifically, it calls for Representative Omar to be formally censured by the House of Representatives. Under this procedure, the member being censured may be required to appear in the well of the House while the resolution is publicly read by the Speaker, symbolizing the official reprimand issued by the chamber. In addition to the censure, the resolution proposes that the representative be removed from specific congressional committees, including the Budget Committee and the Committee on Education and the Workforce. Committee assignments are significant because they determine where members can influence legislation and policy discussions. The conclusion of the resolution therefore sets out both the symbolic and practical consequences that would accompany the disciplinary action if it were approved by the House.